everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome. My name is Meg, and today we are doing 3 looks using one palette featuring the NikkieTutorials and Beauty Bay palette. I am so excited to put this video together for you guys. It's been a while since I felt so inspired by an eyeshadow palette. As soon as I saw pictures of it, I already had looks in mind to do, and I am so excited to finally be sitting down and creating them and sharing them with you. If you guys are interested in my first impression of this palette, I take every single eyeshadow in this palette, I swatch it on my eye and blend it out like as if I were using it. So if you really want to get an idea of how these palettes or how the formulas in this palette works, be sure to check out my other video. It will be linked up above and also down below. So in today's 3 looks, one palette, these are the looks that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. I am all about bright and color, so that's mostly what I gravitate towards. And of course, I like to do at least one neutral look because I know most of you out there aren't running around with hot pink and purple eyeshadow on your eyes like I like to. So that is what you're going to be seeing in this video. If you are new here, hello, welcome. Typically, I do a lot of makeup education and tutorials, in-depth steps, and I go over a lot of basic things. So if you're interested in that or more lifestyle and tags and get readies with me, check out the other videos on my channel. But because I'm doing 3 looks in this one video, this is going to be a more vague instructional video. So if you like more in-depth things, be sure to check out my other videos, and I'll be doing more in-depth tutorials with this for sure. And also for Halloween, I have a lot planned, so be sure to subscribe before we get into it. So yeah, that is my spiel for the intro to this video. Now we can get into the actual tutorials. To get the look started off, I am just going to pick up Mila on a Morphe M433, and I'm going to work on building that in my crease kind of as a transition shade. So I'm taking that all the way from the outer edge up into the inner corner, and I kind of go up at an angle because I want to leave the inner corner of my eye open for shimmer to make it brighter and appear more open. So I'm also going to take that brush and really get it right underneath my brow bone and into that orbital structure to really define the area. With the same brush, I picked up Basic Truth and I blended that shade out all the way up to my eyebrow bone. This is pretty much the same color as my skin tone, so I can get away with putting it up in the brow bone area. Next, on a Morphe 506, I'm picking up the shade 5 AM, and I'm going to start to build up some depth into the crease. So I'm packing this on the lower outer corner of my eye and building it up to my crease. I'm not really going to extend this further than the middle of my eye, and I'm just going to work on blending that out. To build some warmth into the palette, I'm taking this shade Zoomer, and I am going back in with a Morphe M433 and kind of fluffing that around. And I'm actually going to take this shade and kind of stamp it on the outer half of my eye, so we have that color tied into the lid space, and it's also going to just diffuse outwards in the crease. Then to go and re-deepen the crease, I'm going back into 5 AM with the 506 brush, packing that on, and then I'm going to give everything a nice once over blend. For the lower lash line, I'm just going to use the same shades. I'm taking a Morphe M432, and I'm just packing on that 5 AM shade to my lower lashes. And then with an E36, I'm going to blend that out with Mila. And because we did a pretty heavy smoky eye up above, I like to mirror that down below. So going back to the M433, I'm going to pick up just a little bit of shadow because I don't want it to be too much. So just a little bit. I'm going to go back in with Zoomer and blend all of that out. And to finish it off, I'm going to pick up Basic Truth and just build and blend out those outer edges, and everything will look nice and seamless. For the shimmer, I think I want to go in with all in and just go all in with this look. So this is the green shifted dual chrome. So I'm just packing this on with my finger, and as you can see, we don't even need to carve out a cut crease because this shimmer is so intense. you can just lay it down and fake a cut crease all day. If you really want it to be super intense, then go ahead and carve out your crease. I'm also going to extend this out to where I have zoomer. So the sparkle kind of goes almost all the way through the eye, and then on the very inner corner, I'm going to highlight with Ivy. This is what the shadows look like on. I feel like maybe the green is kind of picking through a little bit, but the shimmer is stunning. So what I'm going to do off camera is add a little bit of brown liquid liner and put the rest of my makeup on, and we can see what the finished look is. So here is the finished neutral look. I really like how this came out. It's still very glam, and obviously you can tone this down. Just don't build the shadows up as much as I do. But I wasn't expecting these to not perform great. I love it. I am just seriously obsessed with the shimmer. It really separates this palette from all other palettes in my opinion, because like Nikki said, this isn't anything revolutionary. She's not claiming to reinvent the wheel here or anything like that, and I just really think the shimmer set it aside. This look, I already had something in mind as soon as I saw the palette, and that is going to be to try to recreate a look that I did with the Norvina Volume 1, this purple and red look, but I want to do blue and the yellow green. So we're going to see how well I am able to recreate this in this look with this palette. I have high hopes. I know we're going to be able to accomplish it, so let's get into it. Get this second look started off, I'm dipping into Amsterdam, and I am really packing this on with a big pencil brush. This is a BH number 12 brush, and what I'm going to do is start making that angular triangular outer shape. So I'm really packing this on the lower third of my lash line. I'm also going to pack this on as liner, so getting it really close to my lash line across my lid as a whole, and then I'm going to go up at that angle and then cross it back over and start to really build it up in the outer corner. And then once I start to get to the inner corner, I'm going to start blending it out a little bit. To help blend out Amsterdam even more, I'm going to take my Morphe 506 and dip into Plot Twist and really work around those edges. And these really are a dream team, like Nikki said. To create even more definition and depth, Nikki mentioned in her video, you can kind of build up depth and dimension using the same shadow. So I'm going to take my Sonia Kashuk 202 brush and really build up Amsterdam on the outer edge of where my cut crease is going to be. This is going to help it look more fierce, defined, and crisp. Now I am going to go ahead and cut my crease quickly off camera. I'm taking the yellow shadow on a thick shader brush, and I am just packing that all over where we put that eye base, where we cut the crease. And this, again, is where it can get a little bit messy, so just prepare for fallout. It's really not that big of a deal. Have a makeup wipe on standby, and you'll be good to go. This is looking great, but I wanted to add some more depth and dimension, so I decided to take a little bit of a risk and add slasher to deepen things up. So I took that on my 506 brush. I'm adding that to the outer third of my lid and up into the crease. Moving along to the lower lash line, I'm dipping back into Amsterdam with a Morphe M432, and I'm going to connect what is going on in the crease down to the lower lash line. Then I'm going back into Slasher with an E36 to buff and blend it out, again to add some more smokiness and depth to the look. Lastly, I'm going to take Plot Twist to give it a nice softened blend. Are you going to drive off? Okay, they drove off. I was panicked for a second because the whole time I was filming this eye look, I wasn't talking or needing to talk, and it was quiet outside. And then as soon as I hit record, my neighbors started their diesel pickup truck up again. And I swear every time I'm cursed, I hit the record button, they start the truck. It's loud, no one cares. Okay, so I am so happy with how this turned out. I think I did a pretty good job of going for the same vibe. So I love how this turned out. The pigment is so good. Like I can't get over it. Like I'm just so shook. This was only $30 and look how good it is. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay, so that is this look. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. It is time for another look, and with this palette, it's like a rainbow palette, right? So I feel like I have to do a rainbow look. And because there's so many colorful shimmers in here, I want to have matte in the crease and then use the shimmers to correspond on the lid. So we'll see how this turns out. And I also want it to be a little bit more of like a pastel-y vibe. So I'm not going to go in like super intense because I feel like the blue and yellow look was super intense and showcase the pigment. So I'm gonna see if I can do a softer rainbow look with this palette. To start this look off, I'm gonna take Redemption and start to put that in the inner corner, like up towards my brow, and extend that out. I really like Nikkie's technique of just blending eyeshadow up into your eyebrow. It's just fun. And I'm just using my Morphe M506 brush for this because it's smaller, and because I want to focus most of this into the crease, I do want to have a smaller brush that I'm using so it can be more precise. Next, I'm going to dip into Mikai and do the same thing. Place it right next to the orange shade, and then I'm just going to lightly blend the two together once I have my shadow placed how I like it. And I know I said that this is, like, I wanted to try to make this more of a pastel look, but these colors are just so vibrant and beautiful. It's hard to want to have them be toned down. So next I'm going to go into Blend and Snap, and I seriously love this pink so much. It is so pretty, and it really is just like a perfect bubblegum pink. And I'm just going to go ahead and place that next to the red, and again, the same process of just blending everything out. To blend all of the softer rainbow colors out up towards my brow bone, I'm going to take Basic Truth and go ahead and blend that up. I love that this matches my skin tone, so it's not like a stark, harsh white. It just kind of diffuses everything nicely. And then before I go into the blue, since I'm using the same brush, I'm going to go into the yellow shade and I'm going to pack that on in the inner corner. And I just still can't get over how in person this looks more like a green yellow. I'm just obsessed with how it actually looks in person. On camera, it's a brighter yellow, but it's not, I don't know, it just looks different in person. So now I'm going to go into Amsterdam, which I know is super bright, super pigmented, and I'm going to start building that up on the outer third of my lid into my crease. To blend out Amsterdam, I'm going to dip into Plot Twist. I love this color, and I'm going to go ahead and blend those edges out. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut my crease, and we can get started with the shimmers. I just realized I wasn't recording. So I love that. So MakeupByMegB went on the outer edge, and now I'm taking pride in building that on top of it. So love that for me. And what I'm loving right now, mixing these two shades with Pride on top of MakeupByMegB, it's making a purple. I know it's hard to see because like I feel like the lights is just like with the glitter, but it's making a really pretty purple color. Now I'm going to go in with Aura and overlap that on top of Pride, and then I'm kind of dipping back and forth between each shimmer to layer it to make sure that nothing is getting lost. And then I'm going to do the same with Roxy Catan. Now for a little bit of a lighter shimmer, I'm going to go in with All In. For the lower lash line, I'm going to start building that up. So I'm going to continue with the rainbow by taking the yellow underneath the inner fourth of my lower lash line. Then I'm going to take the green shade and build that up. I wanted to do a little bit of a lighter blue before we get to the darker blue, so I thought taking Plot Twist would help, but I think what I need to do is lay Amsterdam down first and then put Plot Twist on top of it to really help it show up. In Amsterdam, I'm just going to connect the outer lower lash line into what's going on with the crease. Lastly, I'm going to take Plot Twist to blend out the edges. I'm going to take Slasher on a flat shader brush and get that close to my lower lash line just to have a little bit of definition there. Last thing that I'm going to do is dip into some of Ivy. And I'm just going to add that to the very inner corners for some brightness on top of that yellow. I mean, I think the blend just speaks for itself when it comes to these shadows. I feel like my lights are washing out the color of the shimmer a little bit. You're getting like all of the silver reflect here. But yeah, I am obsessed with how this one turned out. There we go. Now you can see the shimmers better. That is going to wrap it up for my 3 looks using one palette. Be sure to subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more makeup-based videos. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to hang out with me. I hope you guys enjoy this. Don't forget to check out the first impression video if you didn't see it yet, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.